Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. It's Land. Yeah, but isn't this the unplugged version? I don't know. I think it's the unplugged version. All right, Power, let's go.
One of the many joys of having the Latino slant is all the incredible people that I've met from all over the world. And also kind of heroes of mine as far as leading the charge on the Hollywood pushback, on the reclamation of our IPs and legends, and but more importantly, doing it so in a manner that's intelligent, funny at times, and on point. So one of the gentlemen who I've been following for, over a year now, I'm now working with, and I have the pleasure of helping run Midnight's Edge Espanol. But Midnight's Edge started many years ago with our guest, the great Andre.
Hey, Paulie, and greetings, everyone.
Hola, señor. ¿Cómo estás?
Está bien, gracias. ¿Y tú?
Muy bien, muy bien. We're at a good time right now. During this video, we're celebrating Midnight's Edge Espanol's recent success.
Yes, it's been amazing. It's amazing how quickly things can change, because this is what I knew from when I started the original Midnight's Edge main channel. Mm-hmm. All it takes is for like one video and one topic to really be hot.
Crazy.
And then it'll go on its own from right there, because YouTube is not going to do anything to help you out in any way, shape, or form until you hit certain criteria. And it's only when those are hit that
for Midnight's Edge Espanol, it's the He-Man ruckus, all this that's been going on. For you guys, when you started, can you tell me what year you guys started, whereabouts, and what was the video that really propelled you guys?
Yeah, absolutely. The Midnight's Edge, the main channel, started out in the spring of 2015. Started out in April of 2015. That's when we first started out doing our videos on comics, The Punisher, Avengers: Age of Ultron. That was kind of like the first big video that we did, because that got 1,500 views. And that was big for a channel with 15 subscribers, where most videos got like 20, 30, 40 views.
Right.
And it would continue to be like that for a few more months. The thing that really put Midnight's Edge on the map to begin with was Trankgate, i.e. Josh Trank's Fantastic Four. Because at the time, there was no Fandom Menace. The channels that we all know and love today, they either weren't around or they were doing something else. The few that were around at this time. No one were talking about all of the mishaps surrounding the Fantastic Four. No one, not a single channel. The only narrative you found was the official narrative. So you had like your talking heads on Collider talking about how amazing this movie is going to be, how much we like Josh Trank, how he's going to be the next Steven Spielberg, how we like this incredible cast. That was the conversation about the Fantastic Four. And the only places where you had some kind of dissenting opinion was in message boards. And contrary to popular belief, the dissent wasn't about Michael B. Jordan. That was like the popular narrative, that all the fans are horrible because they don't like the casting of Michael B. Jordan. That you have race bent a blonde character to becoming a black man. And that's what they latch on to. But that wasn't the true at all. The fundamental issue was that the movie was being made in the first place by Fox. Exclusively as a rights grab, just so that they could keep the Fantastic Four away from Marvel. Fox didn't have any big plans of their own. This was obvious because the movie had first been announced back in 2009, the day after Disney first acquired Marvel. That's when they announced it, and then they promptly did nothing for the next 6 years until they had to move or lose the rights in like the reversal. So that was the whole impetus for making the movie, a pure rights retainer and nothing else. And then they found a director with a vision that did not match the property in any way, shape, or form. And then they did like the one race bend, and they found the one place where it's awkward, namely in the middle of siblings. If they had made both Johnny and Sue black, it would have been a non-issue, because then you would have like preserved the family relation. Or you could have made Ben Grimm black, or you could have made Mr. Fantastic black. All of those would have been better received instead of ruining the sibling dynamic, because then they had to come up with a convoluted backstory about how Sue Storm, the biological sister in the comics, was now suddenly adopted from the Balkans, to explain the difference, how you can have like one black and one white sibling. So they had to like do all these soups around, but everyone was celebrating.
Right.
And the only one that was pointing out that not only are there some severe issues here, we are hearing very credible reports of extreme behind-the-scenes issues that no one were talking about. So Midnight's Edge first put out one video, and this did pretty good. It got like a few hundred views. It was circulated around the IMD message boards, which was a thing there. We did a few discussion videos.
Wow.
And then just a couple of weeks prior to the movie being released, then we did a best of video, one that summarized everything that had happened in a mini documentary style, like the typical Midnight's Edge video today, but this was like the template for it. And then we dropped that a couple of weeks before the video was due to open. At the time, before the movie was due to open. And at the time, Midnight's Edge had 95, 94, 96, something like that subscribers.
Under 100.
Under 100 subscribers. Wow. And most videos, they tended to get views ranging from 40 to 500, depending on topic.
Right.
And it was my my then associate Kevin who was the one who physically did the video and uploaded it. I had written it, I had conceived it, but he did the narration, and he did the actual editing and the uploading. So at the time I was on vacation. Actually, I was in Spain at the time when it was
which
uploaded.
we'll get to.
Yeah, we'll get to. And then I looked at my mobile to see, he should have published it about now. I wonder, because I had a hunch that this video is going to be good. Like, is it gonna get to 1,000 views in a week, or maybe we can do it in 3 days? Will I be able to see the counter cross the 100 subscriber threshold? I kind of had like a goal of that, of seeing it go from 99 to 100. That was like my goal there. I checked my mobile, and what I saw did not compute, because there were like, what the hell is this? Like 500 subscribers and 7,000 views on the video, blowing the previous record out of the water. And then it just kept on coming and coming from there. And then we did a couple of more videos, and in just in a matter of weeks, like 1 month later, we had almost 4,000 subscribers, and hundreds of thousands of views.
Wow!
And
you were off to the races.
Then we were off to a little bit of a break, because that's when I became a father for the first time. Right after that, at the same time as my associate Kevin quit. There was no drama or anything. He just didn't have time for this YouTube stuff because of other things going on in his own life. So then the channel quickly went into something of a hiatus, and then I did a couple of videos here and there before resuming full-time a few months.
When you said hiatus, you guys literally stopped just creating new videos, no live shows?
Yeah, you guys, that would be me. Yeah, no, this was before the
Pre-Tom.
before the onset
Pre-Tom.
of this was before the onset of live shows. So no, it did a couple of specials. Did a team up with another Australian pair of YouTubers, Chalk Tops, that have since quit being YouTubers. I mean, it's a rough game being a YouTuber. And then actually, it was like Star Wars, the Force Awakens, where I was like, you know what, I'm going to do a review of this. And after that, it was like back in action, full force. And then Ghostbusters came a couple of weeks after that. That's when that first started.
Can I just stop really quickly because of you guys, I have never watched Fan Four Stick or Ghostbusters, and I never will.
You have not missed out in any way, shape, or form.
No.
To be clear, the movie didn't come out a few weeks later, but that's when the first rumors of trouble started dropping.
Right.
And actually, I was reading on the IMDb boards when the first rumors of trouble started to hit, and then someone said, "I can't wait for Midnight's Edge to start covering this."
Ooh.
And that's when I got like, "Oh yeah, maybe I should cover this." Because I actually didn't have planned it. Like, the movie was completely off my radar until I read it of the trouble on the IMDb, and someone expressed anticipation of Midnight's Edge is going to cover this. Like, just took it for granted. Midnight's Edge is going to do a full dissection of this, which wasn't going to happen until actually I read that comment. That's the irony. But then I read it, and then it was like off to the races.
So moving on to now, I want to say, before you had met me, well before you met me, what was your impetus to go into the Spanish-speaking market with Midnight's Edge Espanol?
Well, there were a couple of reasons. One is that I knew from personal experience that there is a huge Spanish market for genre subculture in Spanish-speaking territories, not just mainland Spain, not just South America, but everywhere. I mean, people in Spanish-speaking markets in general are much more lively than where I am in Northern Europe, much more cheerful, outgoing, more emotional, more enthusiastic. And that's about everything. That's about everything in the daily life, in addition to, of course, also with the love and cherish there is for like the same kind of genre properties and everything that we cover. And actually, I heard the idea from several places. Like, we had like many viewers from Spain, from Mexico, many that said like, "Oh, you really should do like a Spanish-speaking channel here. Like, it's going to be huge. No one does what you do in among Spanish YouTubers." So that was one thing. So I knew there was a demand there. At the same time, I am myself married to a Spanish woman, so I have like a deep fascination with Spanish culture.
And with that, we'll put the logo on.
Yeah, with that,
in honor of your wife, Midnight's Edge Espanol is taking over here. That's the logo.
And I also, and through my wife, I discovered all of the amazing Spanish movies and Spanish TV series, and not just from mainland Spain, but also from various countries in South America and everything. And I realized that, of course, I implicitly already knew, because you have that all over the world. Every country on the face of the earth, they have their own culture, they have their own movies, they have amazing stuff that the rest of the world is waiting to discover. And obviously I can't do all of that, but I figured actually I'm in kind of a unique position where we actually can make a channel that does two things. One is that it can highlight all of the kind of stuff that we cover, anyway, to a Spanish audience that I know would be very fascinated with the information. That's one part of it. At the same time, you could also celebrate movies and culture from Spanish-speaking nations, and to bring that into more focus, and possibly even introduce them to many others that otherwise would never discover it. Like, I discovered so many cool movies and TV series that I never knew existed, and they're awesome. And
Going
those
back
were
to
the things that basically then motivated Midnight's Edge Espanol.
So going back to your origin story of Fantastic Four, it seems that at this video time marked, we're at on Midnight's Edge Espanol 46,000 views with the He-Man, our initial He-Man video that you put together with Diego as La Voz, the Midnight's Edge in Espanol. It seems this is the one that's doing it for the channel. This reaction, this from Latin America, from Chile to Mexico, it's just crazy.
Yeah, and again, it only goes to show that the basic model, that the genre culture is something we all share, regardless of culture, regardless of language. We all share some things that we all want to celebrate, and if it's treated wrong, we also want to point out how it's being done wrong. So hopefully those who are responsible for it can get a very clear message. This is what it's wrong. Like, no, it's not just random haters. We have some very specific points of complaint here. We want to give you our money. We want to buy these toys. We want to watch this. We want you to put it out on DVD and Blu-ray so we can buy it. We want to support you. Just do these tiny little things right. And that's kind of what I feel it's important to point out in one end to them, but also to point out to everyone else who's frustrated, tearing their hair out. What the hell went wrong? Well, actually, this is what went wrong.
Right.
To shed some clarity on it. And in the case of Midnight's Edge main channel, it was the Fantastic Four that did it. For Midnight's Edge Espanol, it was He-Man. But it doesn't really matter. If it hadn't been this, it would have been something else. Because really, no matter where we come from, people are much the same. There's differences, but we're much the same. We care about the same things. We have like the same things that stress and upset, and the same thing that we find like solace and respite in. And you mess with that, you mess with the people of the world.
Well, the channel is off to the races at this time. 1365 subscribers, great interaction, great passion from all over Latin America. Now we're, in it. We're in it. We're hitting it.
And also from mainland Spain, from what I see, which is brilliant, because that's kind of like what I want.
Yeah,
have everyone from all over the Spanish-speaking world discover and get the corporate politics aspects of the entertainment from here, because I don't see many others doing it.
I have one more question for you, but it seems that even when we went live with the Midnight's Edge Espanol after this outbreak, you had people from all over hailing in. It was really cool. Brazil, Spain.
And 4 times as many viewers as usual.
Just amazing. In our short history with Midnight's Edge Espanol, it's 3 months. It's not at this time. What's been your favorite?
Doing better at this time than the main channel did at the same point in the channel's history.
Yeah, but I think you knew that it would. I think that was your vision.
Yes, I had an idea. I had an idea.
You're a smart man. You're not doing this frivolously. What's your like top favorite moment for Midnight's Edge Espanol so far in this brief history? Because we've done a lot in 3 months.
I think the fun that we have had in the various live shows, and one that really stands out as a lot of fun, was the Mark of Zorro watch party, where I got to introduce a movie that I happen to love, to many of you guys that hadn't seen it before. And it's a movie that's actually very celebratory of not just Spanish, but Mexican and even South American culture, heritage, and history.
Yep.
And it's a movie that so few today have seen, but just listening to like Diego and Pablo relaying the stories of their grandparents and how they recognized the furniture and everything like that. Like
that was cool.
Just how authentic it is. At the same time, how amazed everyone was by the acting and how great it really was, and especially the stunt work. I mean, that movie did parkour before parkour was a thing. Someone pointed out in the stunts, and what safety harness and stuff like that. Nah, they also did Jackie Chan before Jackie Chan was a thing. And just the fun that we had in that watch party was absolutely priceless. So yeah, that was awesome. Really awesome. That was one of my favorites.
Right. One of my favorites in connecting this with you and your family is the Romy Diaz interview that has been doing really well on the channel. But I guess you guys are using that video in Norway. Is that correct?
Yeah. Well, certainly my wife is because she's a Spanish teacher. So we so she's been using it in her school class in Spanish, where she teaches Norwegian kids Spanish. So among her class, there are now quite a few Romy Diaz converts and fans.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, we're just getting started, Andre, Jefe, and I really appreciate your time. Let's keep on celebrating.
Yes, absolutely, because this is only the beginning.
Well, everyone here at the Latino Slang, thank you so much. You can check out Andre on Midnight's Edge Espanol. Don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you are subscribed to all our channels, Midnight's Edge Espanol and Midnight's Edge. Otra vez, muchísimas gracias, señor.
De nada.
A la próxima.
Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. The slam. All right, Paul, let's go.